What's going on, everybody? Welcome live into the studio. We're getting set up real quick. Just need to double check I have all of my settings up. Don't want to sound like a dweeb. Dweeb. Love that word. Yeti. We're good to go. Marcus Aurelius III, you ready to go?
Marcus, pretty much.
Okay, cool. Right on. Episode 157 of the Comic Bookies podcast, Monday, August 22nd, 2022. Recording on Skype. Cool. Gonna do... Mark, you want to talk for me real quick?
Yes. I can talk for you real quick.
All right, cool. Sounds...
Or real slow.
Cool. Sounds good. We're good to go. Okay. We are going in 3. Hey, what's up? Freaking holy shit.
What's the race at Daytona this week called, brother?
Oh, I don't know. Shit. Do you know? Are you testing me? 'Cause I don't know.
No, I'm asking you.
No, it's not. I know it's not the Daytona 500. I know that much. Damn. Freaking. What's up, Jose? My old coworker.
Jose.
He's got his own YouTube channel out there. His Pop 13 Prospect. Sorry, he does collects all those pop toys and stuff, and different like baseball cards, Pokemon cards, and he like does an unboxing and stuff. All those all those YouTube videos. So everyone listening to this live stream now or later, go check out Pop 13 Prospect's YouTube channel. It's pretty cool.
Pop 13 Prospects.
Okay, cool. But we are doing good. 157 episodes in. Hope you are doing well also. All right,
It is. How did we not know this? It's a Coke Zero, a Sugar 400, of course.
Oh, Coke Zero. I'm going to have to get myself a Coke Zero. That sounds good. All right. Good thing the furnace just turned on. Let's get 10 seconds of silence so I can kick this thing out. 3, 2, and let me look at the gain. Gain's okay. Okay, cool. And
You got them gains?
some gains, bro. I went to the gym today. I have no gains, but I'm feeling it. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. What is going on? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another brand spanking new episode of the Comic Bookies podcast, colliding the worlds of sports and comics for a 157th time. Welcome in. This week in sports, 2 of our teams, Manchester United and Liverpool, open up the 3rd week of the EPL season, so we will discuss NASCAR. We've missed a few weeks, so we got Kevin Harvick to talk about the craziness at Watkins Glen and the final race of the regular season at Daytona this weekend. And of course, the NFL preseason rolls on, not just games, but plenty of news to get into, injuries and starting quarterbacks for week 1 and what have you. In the comic books and entertainment section this week, plenty of books to get into from over the last couple weeks, including Detective Comics 1062, the 900th issue of Amazing Spider-Man, and of course, another brand spanking new book from AWA, so we'll get into all of that. And of course, in entertainment, another death. I thought I wasn't going to get into it, but I'm sorry, another death. House of the Dragon premieres on HBO Max, and Thor: Love and Thunder is premiering on Disney Plus a little early, in my opinion. We will discuss all of that and more. 157 episodes. It is scorching hot in this garage, so let's get it going right now. Actually, no, hold on. I want to redo that part. After I say Thor, Love, and Thunder, and we will discuss all of that and more in episode 157. For those of you watching or listening, well, hold on. God dang it. You know what? What was I going to say? I'm going to say Thor, Love, and Thunder. No, hold on. I'm going to do something else. House of the Dragon premieres on HBO Max. House of the Dragon premieres on HBO Max. And do we really have to talk about Top Gun Maverick again this week? My God. But all of you watching or listening as you're driving or at home, enjoy episode 157 of the Comic Bookies podcast. Let's roll, baby. Okay, cool. Yeah, no doubt, Jose. Hope you're still watching. Oh, man, we have a few viewers. Oh, my God, they just watched me just totally butcher that intro right there. That is because we have the power of editing, so thank God I'll be editing that soon. This is what you get when you come live with us. Okay.
Oh man, gonna be a fun one.
Yep. All right, bro. You ready to go?
1 second, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I usually do the whole thing first, so. Okay, back live in 3, 2, and 1. And just like this hot-ass garage that I'm recording in right now, we have another brand new... hold on. Man, I'm kind of losing it. It's the heat, sorry. I have to get back from that, 1 hour difference in the mountain time zone, sorry. And just like the... Man. And just like the scorching hot garage that I'm recording from right now, this is another brand spanking... Why do I say brand spanking new? This is like a whole thing I don't like discussing. Right,
and the brands.
I know, right? It's like the brand new or just new, blah, blah, blah. So, okay. Sorry, last time. Sorry. I feel like I've been doing this for 157 or 7 episodes. Jesus. And just like the garage... Man, I'm losing it.
Man, struggling today.
Because it's hot.
Wild turn of events today.
I know. It's like I had this whole, the Raiders are 3-0 in the preseason, Larson wins at Watkins Glen, Man U beats Liverpool, and then I freaking choking on a hot dog right now on a glizzy, as the kids say.
Yeah, you're choking on a big one right now.
Coming from an M&M's mini bottle. All right, cool. Let's go. And just like the scorching hot garage that I'm recording from right now, another fire episode is in the midst. Hold on. Wow. I don't know what I actually need to stop and think about what I'm going to say. I actually have to stop and think. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm something's coming to my head, but then it's not good. I feel like it's cheesy or it's just not quality.
Writer's block. Writer's
right.
block.
Do I really have that writer's block?
Man, I think you're too excited. Larson got that win, man. You're just too excited. Right. Your teams, everyone's winning right now. 3-0 in the preseason, like you said. It's just you're just vomiting up all over, you're hiccuping up all over yourself.
I know, man. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I keep thinking of things to say, and it's like, nope, that's gonna fall flat. Nope, that's gonna fall flat. Anybody who's watching right now want to give me some pointers? You can do it. Say this, or just simply stop.
Estrella Jalisco says you can do it. Ay, papi.
That's good beer.
Not bad. Right. Especially in the oven you're cooking in right now, boy.
Ooh, that's a good one. And just like the oven that I'm recording in right now, we're cooking it.
We're about to turn up the heat.
Yep. Oh, see, we need to collaborate.
The heat is on.
The heat is on. The heat is on. There we go.
The heat is on.
All right, let's go. And just like the scorching hot garage that I'm recording in, we are ready to turn the heat up for episode 157 of the Comic Bookies podcast. Thank you so much for everyone watching live right now on our YouTube channel or listening wherever you get your favorite podcasts. This episode, just like all of them, are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. This Wednesday, August 24th, 2022 is New Comic Book Day, so go and see Alex or go and see all your local shops and please support your local businesses. But Alex specifically, he can get it to you 3 different ways. You can walk into the shop on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays and pick them up. He can walk them out to you in the scorching hot heat and drop them off in your car, or, like me, he can mail them to you. But it's myself and Mark this week for episode 157. Dude, it is, I just want to say, it's hotter than hell out here. I don't know why I'm not recording in the house. I just want to say that it was triple digits all last week when I was in Colorado. Now I'm back, and now it's a cool 98 degrees today. So, man, people who just listen to this episode right now on Apple iTunes or like Spotify or wherever, they won't know what we just went through right now. I had to take like 16 takes to do this first couple sentences because I don't know if the heat's getting to me. But how are you, sir?
Hopefully it's not that heat stroke, though, man. I don't want to have to go over there and take off your clothes for you.
As I'm drinking hot coffee, too. What am I doing to myself?
But yeah, man, it's an oven out here in certain spots. It's crazy, man. Nonetheless, happy 157 to you, Mike. Yeah. We're back. We already know that pretty much this is the last weekend. Last weekend was without football until, February?
Yes, sir.
So college is about to start. That's about to be real fun, as everybody knows. NFL's about to start. You're choking all over yourself because our Raiders are 3-0 in the preseason. But, it's hot over here. Quick little story. I think it's crazy. These microclimates that we have here in the Bay Area. As you well know, I got free tickets to go to the Giants game. Since we're not going to talk much baseball today, I don't think that's really in the cards or the agenda. Might as well mention it real quick before we get into your little trip to Colorado. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of 157. But man, I'm over here. It's hot as hell. It's like 105, 106 registering in my car, right? And obviously, those things aren't always accurate, but close enough, right? So we get free tickets to go to the Giants game. We have to go pick someone up in Daly City, right? We get over there. Dude, I look down. You know how it gets so foggy over there off the coast, and it's like 57. I was like, dude, it's maybe like 70 miles away. And you got a 50-degree difference in 75 miles, which to me is just outrageous. Mm-hmm. It's like when you live in the Bay Area, summertime, you could really just pick what temperature you want to be in. You want to be scorching hot, you can come out our way. You want to be in the mid-temperature, you can be, East Bay, Castro Valley type, Hayward, Newark, Fremont, where we're from. You want to really, really cool off, man. You hit that peninsula over there, Daly City, Pacifica, Santa Cruz, and whatnot. At times, man, you just this temperature and the climate really is crazy over here in the Bay Area. But That's my rant. I know ever since I moved, it's hot as hell. I know what you deal with. There's air conditioning here, luckily, but not in the garage. When you have to be in the garage like you, man. That is sweltering right now, brother.
Right.
I feel for you.
Right, and it's like why do I do this to myself, When we get like 15 views on YouTube, I'm doing it for like the background, like the nice little man cave. Sometimes I try to get out of here so that way, I'm not recording in the bedrooms. My wife can fall asleep when she wants to, but my God, sorry. I already looked at the weather. It's like 93 or something like that, 92 next Monday when we record. I'm doing it in the bedroom. Sorry for the lack of ambiance. You'll just see like a light and like my bed.
I mean, you're not, I don't see you sweating right now. You don't look that hot. You look all right, man. We can't tell.
I don't know.
We can't.
My head's always glistening. It doesn't matter because I have no friggin' hair. But no, I mean, and then just crazy weather. I'm in Colorado with the family visiting some in-laws. My wife's cousins recently moved out there. Well, one couple years ago, but one recently, like just this month. But no, like the first 2 days we're there, we hit thunderstorms. So it was like in the 70s, like beautiful weather, and then all of a sudden the clouds come in, and then it's Thor 11 thunder, like right in the backyard, like thunder, like right over us, that it feels like it's shaking the house. I'm not sure how much. Of course, we hit thunderstorms in the Bay Area, but I don't know how many like actually like are loud enough and feel like it's kind of shaking. Crazy.
No, you got those monsoon ones over there, man.
Right.
It's just crazy. Yeah. My buddy that moved to Texas, he's like, you see the craziest thunderstorms out here that you'll never see like anywhere else. Just like shakes the whole
Right.
house. Like, I heard it's wild.
Right, but actually, speaking of baseball, and thoroughly enjoyed myself. We did a bunch of things with the family, but just for lack of time and stuff, just for the episode, we went to check off another ballpark off my list. I went to the Giants and Rockies game over at Coors Field. Beautiful ballpark. Of course, anything's beautiful, compared to Oakland Coliseum where people are getting BJ's up in the third deck, But
Yeah,
I mean,
I do.
I mean,
I had that rant. I actually had that rant with one of my buddies today about, man, it's just a disgrace. I don't even want to go off on the tangent now, but
and they're actually like
since
wasting
1960,
hold on, they're actually wasting money and resources to track down these people and possibly ban them for life, maybe. Like,
no, I'm not even talking about the people that was getting topped off in the top deck. I'm talking about just the A's. The A's in general, because I mean, you went to a ballpark that obviously is within 25 years old. I'm sure, right? Coors, it's not that old. It's like around the time Petco, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
those are kind of.
I mean, I think this is their original park since they've been a team since.
Or they just remodeled
since the 90s.
it.
They probably done stuff, but it looks like when I went to Seattle, went to Safeco. It looks like Oracle Park. Everything looks newish, like everything.
The A's are 1968, 4 World Series here, but won the 89 Bay Bridge World Series against the Giants, right? A lot of history here. And just the fact that they play in like a stadium that wasn't even designed for baseball. Right. And just the fact that, it's underwater half the time, below sea level. It's a disgrace that the clubhouses get flooded out. I mean, it's just a joke, and it's just, it's just ridiculous. And I was just having a conversation about it with my buddy today, actually. And it's just, it just makes me sad after going to that Giants game. It was my wife's brother's first time going to a game, so he was stoked. He got to watch a walk-off from cool. Brandon Crawford, so that was cool. I'm not even a Giants fan, but I'll admit I was just, it reminded of us, man, when we had the Ace tickets and we were going to the games. It's been a couple years since I've been to a baseball game, right? So I'm over there in the Giants game. You have like the heckler, right? And then you have when the Giants are up, he's just saying, "Come on, B Craw, come on, B Craw." And I started like saying stuff with them, and like after the game, after they won, I was like, oh, because it was like exciting, right? A walk off. We had great seats. We're like third row, right field, whatnot, and just it was awesome, man. And he's like, oh, he got up and he was like. He's like, you're a good dude. You're a good dude, man. He's like, you're over, because I was wearing my A's hat, my A's shirt. Like you know what I mean? I was wearing my A's stuff. I don't care. Didn't really get anyone heckled. I told my wife, I was like, man, kind of crazy, because it seems like a couple years ago, or when I used to come like 10 years ago, I would have got heckled the hell out of there, right? If I was wearing like A's stuff. But no one I didn't have one person say anything to me. Like nothing negative. No one said, like, get the hell out of here. I had like 2 chicks say, I think you're in the wrong part. And we just kind of laughed. There was a dude that was doing concessions that was like, man, I know you're a real A's fan when you come in here. He was an A's fan too, just doing concessions there. But man, it was a great time. So obviously toast to Oracle Park again, and all the organization over there. How was Coors though, brother? You've obviously been to both now. Right. Would you say Coors is funner, or
Coors is cool. I mean, Coors is cool. It's like in the heart of like their downtown in Denver, which, unfortunately this is not a political show, but same as any other big city downtown. You roll it right in there off the freeway and there's nothing but homeless people, There's like the huge, beautiful City Hall building. I will give them that, though. But like right in front, there's freaking someone laying on the street, or on the sidewalk. So, anyways,
is it anywhere near? Yeah, we're not here to bash on Colorado that much. No. Is it anywhere near Broncos country? Let's ride.
Yes. Can
you see it?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's in their downtown area. It's not like down right by Coors Field. It's probably a few exits away, like 5-10 minutes without traffic or whatever, away from Coors Field. But it was cool because you know how all these ballparks have a huge, like, one big screen now, right? Like in maybe left center field, that shows all the videos and like everything. What's up, Caleb? He says, "Yo, Wrigley Field is goated." Yeah, Wrigley, like Wrigley Field, Fenway Park. I mean, for those parks being as old as they are, they definitely probably invest some money to keep them, standing and actually looking good. But no, Coors Field is cool because it like the one big screen is in the shape of a mountain. So like it's like a huge like the bottom part of it, and then as it goes up, it's like like a can of Coors Light, So it's actually really cool. They have a bunch of food stands. I don't understand their mascot. Their mascot Dinger is a purple triceratops. It's like Barney's ugly cousin or something, but maybe prehistoric, archaeologists found that Triceratops maybe roamed around the Rocky Mountains, maybe that's why. Like, I don't know. Like, we all know why Lucille is the Giants mascot. We all know why Stomper is the A's mascot.
Maybe it's Bigfoot.
Huh?
Maybe Bigfoot.
No, it's definitely a Triceratops. Definitely looks like whatever the other little girl on Barney. Whatever. But anyways... No, but yeah, we were in a luxury box. We all chipped in, like it was a bunch of us, so it wasn't too expensive to get a suite. And sure enough, like the third inning, I'm like, you know what? Like my son's getting kind of restless because he can't jump from our box and go to the other boxes. Like he can't do that. What's it called? I took him outside, went down to the concourse, and the lower concourse. He walked all the way around. My little 2-year-old walked all the way around. I just kind of took it all in. Like, damn, dude, this is so nice. It reminds me of Safeco. It reminds me of even Levi's. How it's just so like that lower concourse. It's freaking beautiful. It just makes me jealous. Like everywhere I go, even like stadiums, like college stadiums. I go to like a Stanford football game, Stanford USC or whatever. It's like Jesus Christ, dude. Like why can't my teams get this? Or they have to move.
Well, they
like
do. They're in Las Vegas.
They're in Las Vegas. They have to go across the bay to San Francisco. Like it's just whatever. But no, it was very cool experience.
The Shark Tank's not too bad.
No, Shark Tank is fine. But I will say that. Like you wearing your A stuff, I had to, you know what hat I was rocking at a Denver ballpark. I had to rock my Raider hat, so I only got one thing. I wore nothing. I wore neutral colors, no A stuff or nothing, but I had to wear the Raider hat. And then there was a bunch of lines going into the ballpark, and there was like, kind of like Costco, how everyone groups in these lines, but like if you go just a little bit to your left, there's no one in those ones. Mm-hmm. So this guy's like, hey, there's lines with nobody in here, down here, everyone over here.
Same thing at TSA.
Right, exactly. And then, the guy's like, oh, yeah, there's shorter lines over here, even for Raider fans. And I was like, you got me. And he goes, yeah, Russell Wilson, man, I think we're going to sweep you guys this year. And then I didn't want to say anything because I was like, no, you're not. So,
Dang,
that was the only thing that
positive outlook.
Right, that was the only thing I got. I actually had some guy walking by. I gave him a head nod because he had a Warriors hat and a Klay Thompson jersey. And he saw my hat and he goes, is that a Raider hat? Because it was on backwards. Like he knew it. He knew it from 30 feet away. I was like, hell yeah, bro. So we gave each other a pound and stuff. So good experience. That's one of my dreams is to go to all these different stadiums and now, throw in all these racetracks and stuff. But no, good times.
There it is.
Right. So
brotherly love with the Raider fans.
Hell yeah. No, but we saw the stadium. I mean, it's nice. I don't know what they call it nowadays. It's
some money thing, I think, right?
Yeah, something like that. Something at Mile High. Yeah. So it's not in Invesco Field.
I used to know them all, but don't they change out? They change like every damn 2-3 years. It seems like some of these now.
Right, just like Oracle Park, it was Pac Bell and
AT&T and how many times
Monster.
What about the McAfee?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oversto.co.
Right. Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, the freaking
like 10 times.
So, all right, man. But yeah, anyway, but anything else from the last couple weeks? Any kind of fun you've been having? Any plans for Labor Day coming up?
I don't know. I had some fun in Tahoe.
Nice.
That was real good.
Right.
Little trip out there. Actually, Carson to visit the in-laws. Stopped in Tahoe. Went to the beach real early. Got there about 8:30 in the morning, which is not a real beach because it's lakeside, but Lake Tahoe, it's real beautiful, real beautiful. Man, can't say anything more. The water's so clear. I had fun with my daughter, the family, but other than that, man, just laying low, just settling in and just seeing what the end of summer is going to take us and the beginning of fall and before we know it, daylight savings will be here, man. So everybody, you say it's hot over there, it's hot here, but we'll be wishing it's going to be that way again pretty soon here in a couple months. So I'd say enjoy it, brother.
I never wish for it to get hot. I always wish for it to get cool. I never am in February, oh my God, I can't wait for May or June. No, absolutely not. I'm sitting here right now thinking that I'm freezing ass and have to be in a hoodie. I swear. But I will say, South Lake Tahoe has a beautiful beach, Round Hill Beach. I think you might have to pay for parking, but you go down there and then you sit on the beach, and then they have people walking up and down the beach like workers there, and they actually take your food and drink orders. You don't even have to go to like the restaurant up there, but it's a really cool little secluded beach. So lovely up there. So
nice.
So staying on the whole topic of sports, let's roll into the main topics of sports. So let's do it. So the EPL season is very young right now. Right now, if you had a paid subscription to Peacock or whatever it's called, Peacock Premium or Plus or whatever it is, you were able to watch the Manchester United and Liverpool game, which crazy because I didn't really watch the first two games where they didn't do diddly poo, and all of a sudden I turn it on and literally it was minute 12 when I turn it on, and they literally score within the first 2 minutes of me watching. I was like, well, looks like I need to watch some Manchester United soccer if they're going to actually be worth a shit this year. So, but it looks like, sir, Mr. Fagundes, you had a feeling about this game today.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously everybody knows I'm a Liverpool fan here, and just just kind of coming off the seasons that they have been having lately. By the way, congratulations on you beating us but I had a feeling I pretty much was texting you and your brother, Manchester United, besides almost having Elon Musk buying them out, they had nowhere else to go but up, right? They've been in the dog pound so bad. They're starting off the season so bad. Everything around them is just so negative, and just kind of reminded me of that UFC fight that we saw, over the weekend. I don't know if you saw it, but Kamaru Usman losing his belt in I believe it was the welterweight to Leon Edwards, man. Crazy. Just, I don't know, Usman, for all our UFC fans out there, he's just a beast. He's been, whooping everybody. And it just kind of reminded me of I remember Ronda Rousey was so bad, and Conor McGregor, and everybody that's really bad, and they're having all these wins in a row. We recently saw Amanda Nunes, right? She just obviously won again, but I think it was Juliana Pena, right? Obviously, Pena won the last one. And it's just like, here comes, it's just Nunes was doing so good. All these fighters do so good, but there comes a time when they eventually lose, right? And here comes Leon Edwards. And, I was like, I would not bet on this because I think Usman's going to beat him. But here comes Leon Edwards. And, Usman might be due for a loss. Leon Edwards wins the first round, 3, 4, and 5. Usman has it. I mean, it's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Usman's pretty much controlling the rest of the fight, right? Dude, with a minute left, if you haven't seen it, you probably saw the highlights.
No, I haven't seen anything, actually.
Well, you haven't seen
it,
man. You have to
I just see
look at
the memes. I think Joe Rogan had another one of his
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, this dude was about to lose. He did good the first round. He did all right. He decent, but he was going to lose, going to go to decision. He just won't, basically fakes him out. Edwards does, kicks him with the left, and just knocks him out with a kick with about a minute left and takes the belt.
Nice.
And it was just wild. And I remember saying, it's like, that's why I wouldn't have bet on Usman, even though I liked him. And it looked like a lot of these fighters are like due. And it kind of felt like Manchester United was due today, right? They come out, guns a-blazing. Liverpool obviously not being at home. And like I said, Liverpool just they've been so hot lately. Manchester United not. And kind of like not saying that one's going to be better than the other because it's still a long season. Obviously, this was the third game. But Liverpool is sitting, in 16th place, 15th, 16th, only with 2 points with 3 games. Arsenal, obviously, ahead of the table. But Liverpool is just trying to plug in too much. They obviously got midfielders hurt in Alcantara, Thiago. And they also, Diogo Jota is not playing right now. And he's hurt, and just, obviously Darwin Núñez, the guy they just picked up from Benfica, he couldn't play because of that red card that he picked up in his last match. So they're plugging in guys, like Nathaniel Phillips. They got that, that Greek dude, Konstantinos Dismikas or whatever his name is. I think Naby Keita's even hurt. So they, they're still. I mean, they plugged in Harvey Elliott. I saw him playing, but it's just. I just feel like. The roster right now, it just needs a little bit of obviously not the injuries, but a little bit of little bit more adaptation with each other. If they're going to be plugging in these guys, they just need a little bit more time. And this year might be a down year for Liverpool. I said it earlier with you, and I might, I'm saying it again right here. I'm not going to expect them to be this bad, but I think Arsenal, and I think obviously, hate to say it, but your boy Portnoy's team now and your wife Tottenham, they look like they're doing pretty good here out the gate. So we'll see. It's a long season, but I'm happy for Manchester United and my boy Ronaldo. Obviously, he didn't start, came in garbage time, but decent way to show up after the world's been pretty much just stomping on you the whole time. Right. So congratulations to the Red Devils today, man.
I mean, well, thank you. But again, like you said, a long season. Now, you mentioning Arsenal and Tottenham, would those be your top four? Like who would you like right now, if you're assuming that Liverpool is going to get its act together and end up in the top four, which team do you expect to be the first team out? Obviously, assuming that Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester City are your top three.
Yeah, I mean,
or is it too early to tell? It's probably, it is.
It's too early to tell. We even see Manchester City, they got a draw as well. Mm-hmm. They lost Jesus. They obviously picked up Haaland. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get these guys, when you like I just said about Liverpool, when you're trying to plug in a lot of different pieces in the beginning, it might take a little while. So I still believe Manchester City's going to be there. I believe a lot of, the teams are obviously going to be there, and I expect Liverpool to be there too. But, Arsenal, I think that they're going to probably stick around this year. I don't think that they're, I think that they've had their kind of bad years, and I kind of have a positive outlook on them going forward this season. And, I would say Manchester City's going to be up there, Arsenal, Tottenham. I don't know, man. I think Crystal Palace has been playing good. They obviously tied us, but I don't know, man. Just it's still too early to tell. I'd like to see like a Nottingham do good, a Fulham do good. It's always fun when like kind of these older teams with a lot of history kind of do good. West Ham's in last place right now, but they're usually perennial, contenders to like not be relegated, if you will. So I expect them to get out of the dumps, and Leicester City as well sitting down there. But we'll see. Chelsea's at 12. I expect them to climb. But it's fun. I like this. I like when like these bigger teams get jumbled up in the season and go down early, and just I like to see Seagulls sitting at 5. I think that's pretty cool. But,
I know, right? Like, I mean, because then you're going to get the sense of urgency once like Halloween time comes, once the holidays come. You're going to be like what the hell? These guys are still in like 9th place. They better get their act together if they're going to get the top 4.
And then when the World Cup comes around, too,
that's this fall, right?
And it's not, it's a winter time. It's some Christmas time around, like right after around Thanksgiving to before Christmas.
Christmas come early.
But it's not just for the parody. It's not just because I enjoy the sports and I enjoy the competition, but the fans too, man. Right. It's just, these fans deserve, a Bournemouth and a Palace and a Brentford and, Leeds. These guys, they got history. They've been around. Their fans are diehards as well. So
yeah.
I like to see some of these like little, not little, but not as many heard of teams, prevail.
It's funny.
It's fun.
I was just thinking about this right now. I'm going through like the 4 major sports. We're Warriors, Sharks, A's, and Raiders. Like that's me and you, right? We're born and raised 510. That's what we've been born and raised to love, right? I don't see any enjoyment, especially obviously like the crosstown teams in San Francisco, but like other teams and stuff, even if it's just a random team, I really don't see any joy. Like, oh, good for them, because I think I've been a fan of my team for so long that I'm like, screw everyone else. But like, I'm such a new fan of NASCAR and soccer that I'm like, oh, good for Leicester City. Oh, good for, Tyler Reddick and those guys and Daniel Suarez. Good for Ross Chastain and, Trackhouse. Good for them, like they deserve wins. Good for Bubba last year. But I think like in 20 years you ask me that and I'm like, nah, screw that guy. It's like you get more and more cynical about other teams and other, drivers and whatnot as you become more and more of a fan. But I just thought it was funny. I thought I'd mention that.
Have you noticed how, I think we were on to something a couple years ago, but Have you noticed there's a lot more wagering on NASCAR going around?
Very true.
My guy Todd Furman even started, the Bet the Board podcast that he has. He basically started not a spin-off, but it's still Bet the Board, but he does a show like every week now on NASCAR betting. I think like on Vegas Sports and Information Network, VSiN. They talk about it a lot now. Like, yeah, it's like NASCAR wagering is getting a lot more popular, and who's been doing it first here, man?
Okay, exactly. You know what? We need to get him on the show though too. Get a little exposure. Just across. It's like a business-to-business transaction, right? So, okay, cool.
And he actually put a tweet before Watkins Glen. He said that, I already know this, obviously I've been handicapping for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've been, hey, sorry, Todd, if you want to come on the show and discuss, I know you got a lot more clout than me, right. But I've probably been gambling on NASCAR a lot before you, brother. But
probably.
He even said, he was like, he said, there's a fine line, not a fine line, but like newer gamblers to NASCAR have to differentiate the difference between, like, you would say the best car on track and like the best value that you're getting. Like, how many times do we talk about it on the podcast all the time? Like, where's the value? Where do you see the value when you're betting straight out winners? Where do you see the value? There's no value in like a 4-1. There's a value in like a Chastain, like 20-1, right? Like he used to be at times, like, because sometimes he comes around. It's just, that's where you find the value, and that's where becoming a good handicapper. Sorry to go off on a tangent, but I just been witnessing and hearing a lot lately. A lot of NASCAR wagering is getting a lot more prevalent, and it's probably because all these states are legalizing it more now, and there's just something else for people to wager on.
Well,
and NASCAR,
you have to find something in the off season of football. So maybe it goes down come September 8th, but if it picks up steam, exactly, I know. If it picks up steam, maybe you have people who are at the book and they're like, you know what, I'm betting this. It's like, oh shit, yeah, I already see the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona. Yeah, I'm gonna place a bet there too. So, and then before you know it, you have consistency. You have people who come into the book for NASCAR every single week, along with their NFL, right? So,
exactly.
So speaking of my other newest favorite sport, NASCAR. We hit the track at Watkins Glen. Speaking of that, Watkins, I think it was, 11 straight now for Chevy? 10 or 11 straight? 9, 10, 11?
No.
At Watkins Glen?
Can't be.
I thought I heard...
They only go there once a year, and I know Joey Logano at least won in 2015.
Right.
For sure there was a Ford, so there's no way it could have been 11 straight.
They always have gone there just once?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, I'll take your word for it. But anyway, so Kevin Harvick wins the last 2 races before that. I know we didn't get a chance to mention it because we didn't record those days, but he won at Richmond and, shoot, what was the other race that he won? I forget.
It was Richmond and Michigan.
And Michigan, that's right. So 2 straight wins for Harvick. He's up there. He's locked into the playoffs. There's only like 1 or 2 spots left between, Kurt Busch.
One, I believe, right?
Like Truex, Blaney, Kurt Busch.
Blaney,
like those guys are
Almirola.
One of those guys, 2 of those guys are not making the playoffs this year. Right. So Kyle Larson overtakes Chase Elliott, his teammate, on the first turn of the 4th to last lap, the last restart, and he just is off to the races, and he beats AJ Allmendinger to win Go Bowling at the Glen. So that's his second win of the year. Chase Elliott didn't look too happy. If you're watching live, he just kind of gave a very bland post-race interview. Don't know if they kind of got into it at the competition meetings, as they mentioned, today or tomorrow, whenever they have that, back at headquarters, but very, very interesting. Yeah, like I said, we only have 1, maybe 2 spots left to lock them people in the playoffs, and what better way to do it than this weekend? As mentioned before, the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona International Speedway. So the second of 2 Daytona races is this Saturday, actually, I believe at 4 o'clock. So I will be in Tahoe, actually, in South Lake Tahoe at a Brewfest. And I will be there until I think the Brewfest ends at 5. Race starts at 4, so you figure green flag at 4:15, 4:20. Boom. Have a handful of IPAs in me and go somewhere and watch the rest of the race. So Can't wait for that.
That's right. It is a Saturday nighter this week, huh?
Saturday night.
So you're gonna be in Tahoe this weekend?
I am, yeah. So I'm,
Nice.
I get to work Thursday and then work from home Friday. Half a night, fall asleep at midnight, wake up Saturday morning, 6 a.m. Boom. The Brewfest is from noon to 5, and then stay the night, and then come home but crack of dawn early on Sunday. So it's like just a day trip. That's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just a day trip. Yep.
Who you going with?
Sean, and then a few friends that are coming from different. Like Forrest is coming from Nevada, Chris is coming home from Oregon, and then I think Joe. So just 5 of us.
You better put in a preseason parlay while you're out there.
I know, because we're gonna hit the casino too for sure. So, but plenty of sunblock because it's on like a street or at least a parking lot. Like it was the parking lot at Heavenly, but now I think they switched it to some like they're gonna cut off a street. I think it's called. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, 82 degrees and just off the asphalt. Boy, I'm gonna need like a whole bottle of that shit, dude.
There it is.
Yeah. So, anyways, what say you for Daytona this weekend as we end the regular season? Are we gonna have a 16th different winner, or no? I mean, you can't really say much about Daytona.
Possibly.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's quite possible.
Right.
That at Daytona there can be another winner, right? So I'm not putting it past anything. So I actually want to see it happen because I think that would be cool to have 16 winners and have nobody in on points. That's never happened before, and I think it'd be kind of enjoyable to watch. But probably if it happens, one of those winners could possibly be a Blaney or a Truex or one of the guys that obviously is a perennial playoff contender. They aren't this year, and that's what the Gen 6 has brought us. This car has been amazing. It has brought contenders into the game. We have Daniel Suarez in the playoffs. How many times have we been able to say that, man? It's crazy. So I'm excited. Hopefully a blue oval wins. Although, we saw Briscoe doing so good at the beginning of the season. He hasn't been as good. I think I might have bet you and said when Cindric won the Daytona 500, I said that Cindric was probably going to win at least another race this year just because of how good he is on the road courses. Right. That has not come to fruition. I don't know if Cindric as a rookie this year will be able to win another race, but he does have the biggest race obviously of the year and of his career, which is came pretty quick. So he got that out of the way for his career. But yeah, I think Dylan can win and he can get himself in. He's obviously pretty good in that 3, and he's won the Daytona 500, so he knows how to get around that joint pretty good. But Almirola in the Ford, they're going to have horsepower. He's decent at that place too. So we all know that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. can get around that spot. Just who knows, man? It's going to be wild, though. I'll tell you that much. I don't know what's going to happen, but I will tell you that I do know it's going to be wild, Mr. Michael Biella.
Absolutely. And you're absolutely correct, by the way, about the Watkins Glen stat. I think it might have been like 10 or 11 poles in a row for Chevy, something like that. They threw out something, and I was in and out of the room. But the last 2 years was Larson. 2020 they didn't have the race because of COVID, and then the previous 2 years was Chase, and then the year before that was Denny Hamlin, and then Logano and stuff. So yeah,
I'm a geek, man. I used to. You guys probably don't even remember. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys do, but I don't know if you do, Mike. When they used to have Speed Channel, SPEED, and it had like
I do remember that,
the 5 different red like rectangles, and it said speed, and that's where all the NASCAR stuff used to be. So I used to watch practice, qualifying. This was back then when it wasn't just 20 minutes. This is when they would unload. They'd have like 2 hours of practice on Friday, 2-3 hours of practice qualifying Saturday. Man, I used to just sit around like pre-marriage or just whatever, pre-kid. Right. And I just watch all that shit, right? I mean,
like every weekend was like the Super Bowl pregame show where it was just racing all day, just coverage. Yeah. So. But I mean, yeah, what's
Mike Joy, Larry McReynolds, right. Darrell Waltrip. They've crammed a lot of information into my into this head of mine when it comes to the cars. So
I've actually been getting my DW fix ever since he left. My son is huge into Lightning McQueen and cars, so I've been watching the Cars movies, and he's boogity boogity boogity, So like I still hear that every single day for like the past couple weeks, so it's great. So yeah, not really much more to say about Daytona. I hope it's a great finish. I hope it's a new winner, because I don't even think we've had 16 different winners. Obviously we're not going to get the 17th, but it'd be pretty cool to have 16 different winners going into the playoffs next week. But I will say also, set your DVRs. You too, Mark. I already set mine. I think September 1st is a brand new show on USA. It's a documentary, ongoing series. It's like Race for the Championship. It's like an in-season docu-series, like Kyle Busch and his family, Logano. Chase is being interviewed, Blaney's being interviewed, Larson's being interviewed, Hamlin. So I think they follow a bunch of drivers throughout the season and stuff, and it shows like wives and kids and stuff. So it seems pretty cool, and I think that starts September 1st on USA. So everyone set your DVRs for that. It's going to be great.
And the thing that comes along with more people wagering on NASCAR, like we mentioned earlier, is that it helps get eyes on the sport, right? These little shows that they're having, and like the Austin Dillon reality series, it's just you get eyes on the sport. NASCAR was so big in the 80s, the 90s, like most watched sport, maybe viewed. I think it had records, I think, at times.
Wow.
And just that's why all these like tracks started building, all these, a lot of these tracks got built in like the 90s. If you go and look, I think like Kansas and like California, a lot of these tracks like came up because just NASCAR was booming, right? So just I think it's cool that, a lot more eyes through gambling, through wagering, through whatever it be, through going to the LA Coliseum, right? Through being more on road courses, through having Kimi Räikkönen come and race, and just
cool.
hey, whatever, dude. Just I respect the fact that NASCAR is trying. Mr. Rick Hendrick is gonna bring that next gen car to the Le Mans race next year and race it 24 hours. So it's gonna be crazy and internationalized. It's all good for the sport. So I salute the France family and NASCAR for trying. At least that's all you can do. And obviously, in my opinion, it's been working. So salute.
I always kind of equate that to how there was no hockey on west of the Rockies before Wayne Gretzky came to LA, right? That whole documentary about how many teams have now been made since Wayne Gretzky, he brought the popularity to LA, to the West Coast. The Sharks came after the Ducks. Obviously the Ducks came after the movie.
Coyotes.
But exactly, Coyotes. Now the Kraken. I believe the Dallas Stars were still the Minnesota North Stars at that point. The Avalanche were not a team yet. Off the top of my head, maybe those were the Hartford Whalers. No, I think the Hartford Whalers became the Carolina Hurricanes. I forgot the whole, what teams moved where. But yeah, man, there was nothing on that side of the Rockies. It was all middle of Canada, like the Flames and Edmonton and Vancouver and stuff. But here in the States, it was the Kings, and that was it. And then boom, here now you have 8 other teams who are playing, So it's pretty cool. Okay, but on to the NFL to round out the sports this week. Again, it's just preseason still. Obviously, nothing really to talk about. I am announcing officially that this is
dun, dun, dun,
right.
Dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
That we will now start from now until the end second week in February. We will be going every single week, every single Monday. Right after you watch Monday Night Football, we will be doing our brand new episode, kind of reviewing the week.
And we'll be live.
We'll be live. We'll be the first person that you see talking about the week that was in the NFL. You don't have to wait for the Monday morning quarterback on Tuesday to kind of finish out the week. It'll be us every Monday night at around 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, talking the week before and the week that's coming up. And we are going to have our TCB Super Contest. I'm super, super excited about that again. It came down to the last game of the freaking season last year.
You guys pulled back,
Man, it was so cool.
So all you D-gens on the East Coast, we know these games are going to end about 11 p.m. Eastern Standard. So you guys just stay up a little bit longer and you guys can get live with us and get your full reaction. Tell us how your bets went for the season.
Right.
Talk about some upcoming pre-flop lines that we could get. How much are you going to put on the Thursday night game? That's only 3 days away from our recording. So it is going to fun. Please, please, please join us Monday nights. We are going to be live. We're going to try to have more of a set schedule, a little bit more continuity, so you guys know every week and every time and the exact time and date and place to find us.
Right, that's right. And for all you comic book and entertainment fans who love that side of the podcast, just next week, but next Monday will be strictly our hour-long to an hour-and-a-half episode of strictly previewing the NFL season. That's it. So just a fair warning to everyone. But preseason rolls along. I think the 49ers are 2-0. The Raiders are 3-0. My God, did you see that stat on the Ravens? They've won like
21 or 22
straight preseason games. Like, that's pretty crazy. However way you slice it, that's pretty cool. That come on now, they haven't lost a preseason game, and what's that? 24 divided by 4 is 6, so like 5 seasons, if they played a Hall of Fame game or two, like, Jesus Christ, it's crazy.
Harbaugh takes it serious, I guess.
Right. But then at the same time, Joe Flacco, when he was playing a few years ago, and now Lamar Jackson, they weren't playing in most of these games. They play a quarter or a half in the game 3, so.
But there's only 3 preseason games still, right?
There's 3 now. Well, the Raiders.
The Raiders
will play.
They made an extra season.
Right,
they made an extra week.
Right, but that was just last year. The first time they did that was last year.
Yeah, well, 17 games. It's still this year, right?
Yeah. It's still 17
but
games.
But wasn't the point they were going to take off? They were going to shave off one preseason week, and then they were going to add a week in the season.
Yeah.
That actually counted.
Yeah, no, they did. Yeah. They did that last year, and they're doing it this year. But the Raiders will play 4 games just because they played
because they had the Hall of Fame, right? That's right. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, well, aren't they playing again? But they're supposed to only be playing 3. Okay.
Yeah, they played Jacksonville in the Hall of Fame game. So, but yeah, you have a couple bits of news. We were talking about Baker Mayfield getting named the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers starting Week 1, and who are they playing? Mark, holy crap!
The Cleveland Browns.
Crazy.
The Paul Browns. The Cleveland Mr. Paul Browns. They are going to be playing Mayfield. I think, is it on the road? I think it might be on the road, too.
Wow. I mean, if it's on the road, that's pretty crazy because it says versus Cleveland Browns, so I think they might be at home.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. But I don't know, man. That's going to be a crazy game. Obviously, Deshaun's not going to play, right? And then you got Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, he got bumped to 11 games, not just the first 6. So now he's got the first 11. He's out.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's not enough in my opinion, but whatever. NFL's going to do what they want to do.
Yeah, I wonder why they even took it to 11 games. I don't know. Seemed like they were going to roll with 6, and then like overnight it changed to 11. It's like, all right, faked you out. But right. I don't know, man. Mayfield, I think that he's going to have something to prove. I like where the Panthers were going, obviously, with Matt Rule. I just think that we're going to have to see. Obviously, they're going to have a lot new, they're going to have a lot of new faces there as well, trying to start, kind of new. Obviously, your boy got beat out by Mayfield. What's his name? Darnold again. Mm-hmm. But, just we'll see, man. Just a couple other things with news. You mentioned it, the Thibodeau, obviously the draft pick from the New York Giants. And when you said that, I was like, oh no, the same fate that they had with Saquon a couple years ago, right? The knee, the ACL. But I think it's saying he's only going to miss 3 to 4 weeks.
It's like a sprained MCL. It's not like a complete tear.
Coming out of the Pac-12 here from Oregon Duck, Kayvon Thibodeau. He's going to be an exciting player, we're hoping. So hopefully he can get back and get healthy and we can see him play. They are playing the Titans in Week 1. Titans, another team that are paying, what's his name, Tannehill, way too much money. Obviously, Tannehill doesn't seem like the guy, but they're rolling with him again. And we'll see how they perform and how that game goes Week 1. We're seeing here, Raiders could have had Mr. Thomas Brady.
Quiet.
everyone heard the big news. That's
Yeah.
like the biggest news going around these last couple of days. Dana White playing agent here for Rob Gronkowski and Mr. Tom Brady, wanting them to come, and Gruden pulled out of the deal at the last minute. A lot of Raider fans, I can say, are kind of upset about it or sick, thinking they could have got Tom in a way. I'm kind of appreciative that it did go down that way. I like Tom Brady. I appreciate him. I just don't know if I wanted to trade a Derek Carr that's still got a couple more years under his belt compared to a Tom that was about to give up on Tampa Bay this year until he realized how annoying kids and Giselle can be at home full time. So he came back and coming back from his 11-day break, and here we are. So gonna be a crazy season. Obviously, we're gonna get more into it next year when we break it. I mean, next week when we break it all down and have more lines and stuff for you. But it's gonna be fun. You have anything this week that that you came across? The Bills look pretty good. That's going to be a crazy week 1 game, right? With
Right.
Who is it? They're playing the Rams, right? So
yeah, they're playing the Rams on Thursday Night Football. That's the game 1 of the season. And then the final game of the week, what you told me in pre-production, I didn't even realize, but Mr. Russell Wilson, he plays his former team in Seattle against the 12th man and the Seahawks. So that's going to be they're nearly given a touchdown too on the road. So that's going to be that might be a pick that we might want to play around with. Someone might want to take that one. So yeah, but all that and more. But next week. But yeah, one more thing, Mark. Yep.
A programming note real quick for anybody that wants to get a head start. I know there's been a little bit of a jumbling going around. I don't know if you've heard more. I will have to do some research and have that research pulled up for when we do our next week, unless you have it. But I know Amazon is getting like Thursday Night Football, right? So if you don't have Amazon or Prime, or you're not paying it, so you're not able to watch. So for everybody out there,
it's going to be on Prime Video, yeah.
In the U.S., because we know we are a worldwide podcast. Shout out to the comic bookies. We are worldwide. But to our U.S.-based listeners, if you are listening, I think that you are going to have Prime Video to be able to watch Thursday Night Football, which kind of sucks in my opinion, but that's the way the world is going. Streaming here, streaming there. We obviously saw that the NFL is going to have their own streaming service as well, where I believe that the NFL ticket is going to be on. So therefore, another programming note, DirecTV will no longer, don't quote me on this, I'm not sure if it's going to be this season, but I know going forward, maybe this season or starting next, DirecTV will not be the sole provider of the NFL Sunday ticket. That will be the NFL itself. So just make sure you guys are on that if you guys are NFL junkies like us. But programming will be a little bit different. Do some research, look it up if you guys want a little bit more detail. That's just what I remember.
Something to add on that too. People have until week 2. The first game of the season, Thursday, September 8th, is on NBC as normal.
Oh, nice.
And then week 2, September 14th, is the first game, the Thursday Night Football, that's on Prime Video. So everyone has the first week on NBC, and then you have until week 2 to sign up for your Prime Video, right?
I wonder, one thing just real quick. I mean, I'd like to talk to maybe like a bar owner, a Buffalo Wild Wings, franchisee.
Right.
How do they, that must kind of suck for them. They have all those tuners on DirecTV, and now it's like, how are you going to play the game when you have to go through like Prime? They probably have to get new hardware and all that, and just kind of weird.
They got to get a bunch of Amazon Fire Sticks. They got to get Fire Sticks put on all of their TVs, and then
there's going to be
that's pretty expensive. Jesus, what a money grab for Amazon right there for all those bars and restaurants. I didn't even think of that. It's like, how the hell are you going to get unless all of those TVs are smart TVs? Then you just have to just go through there,
Well, yeah, that is true. And then think about MLB as well with the Apple TV. So, but I mean, I know even though they are smart TVs, I actually talked to someone that works at Buffalo Wild Wings, and they said they have 10 boxes. Like each box is hooked up to about 8 to 10 TVs all over. So they can play like 10 different games at once or something. But if you have to like reconfigure all that, and you have to, who wants to go to each TV and have how many different controllers just to freaking put it on Prime on each TV, right?
Exactly. So yeah, that's
So
going to be something to think about. Something that definitely to get like the scoop, So definitely. But let's just roll into it, man. So that's the sports for this week. Let's no breaks. Let's just keep going into the comic books this week. So let's talk about books first. So DC this week gives us Detective Comics 1063, Action Comics 1046, The Swamp Thing 16, Harley Quinn 21, and The White Knight presents Red Hood number 2. Marvel gives us Amazing Spider-Man number 8, Fantastic Four 46, Miles Morales Spider-Man 41, Axe Judgment Day 3, and Spider-Gwen Gwenverse, the final issue number 5 comes out this week. Image gives us Department of Truth number 20, Gunslinger Spawn 11, Radiant Black 17, and Public Domain for Mark number 3. Dark Horse gives myself Lonesome Hunters number 3, Boom Studios is Grimm number 4, and All New Firefly number 7, and finally AWA, a brand new series, Emmett number 1. So I will say, Mark, before we get into the books, I will say that an honorable mention for DC, I'm not sure if you're getting it, but Tales of the Human Target number 1, like maybe it's a side story or whatever, but are you pulling this one, sir?
well, I was just thinking that exact same thing, brother, because I saw it earlier on our website that we use, and I pretty much said, because I haven't gotten a book from them in so long, and I'm actually still waiting to read the last issue that came out a couple months ago, because like I said before on this podcast, I remember Tom King saying that they're on a hiatus, so this is probably like the little one-shot before they bring it back from the hiatus, and I'm pretty sure that I am going to be receiving it, because if I'm on the pull for it, I'm pretty sure that Alex will be picking that up for me and pulling it for me. Nice. So I'm excited about it. The story was fun. I liked where it was going, and it just, it just kind of stopped. So we'll see. But yeah, I did see that. Thank you for pointing that out for me and thinking about me when you saw it. But yeah. And yeah, Public Domain, of course, it's going to be awesome. That's like one of my favorite books going right now. Obviously, Chip, I don't know if you're liking his Batman right now. I don't, you're a Chip guy as well. So, but yeah, just this Harley Quinn book I've been getting is it's getting a little bit better, but it's weekly now. I don't need Harley Quinn weekly, but I don't want to have to like drop her or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, it's fun. But the Bond book I got was fun. You haven't read it yet. So
yeah,
I don't know if you, that's next week. But yeah, I think I'm getting I think I looked it up, and I'm getting 7 or 8 or 9 books this week, man. It's kind of a heavy week, right? Yeah, for you too.
Did. If I go back to like the last couple emails, like the last 3 months of previews list, I think I'm going to get back up in those numbers. I think I'm going to be close to 8, 9, 10 every week now going forward. This week, I think it's 7 or 8.
And like I mentioned, I don't know if you got it. I think you got them as much as me, but I told Alex when I gave him my list that I got from the DC previews, mm-hmm. right? And I was like, every single page that I pulled, it's like you got these Batman stories with his villains, right? The one that just came out that I didn't
A Bad
get.
Day.
He was out of it.
Yeah.
One bad day, and I was upset.
And it's Tom King and Mitch.
I think Tom King, the Riddler, and I missed it. I just I whiffed on it, and he was completely sold out. So I think that I'm going to whiff on the other one that's coming out too, but I did order the Penguin one, right?
I think the second one's Two-Face?
The second one is Two-Face, you're right, and I want that
Tamaki.
one. Is that Chip? Yeah, exactly. That's why I want it, because I like Tamaki. Yes, right. Exactly. So I need to ask him to give me that one. Actually, thank you for reminding me. I got to tell him on Wednesday when I go to the shop. But man, it's just and then they also had another Tom King book. It was like Gotham Knights or something like that.
Yeah.
And dude, it's just
that's actually the one that I didn't pull because it was like a prequel to the video game, and I was like, I don't know if I'm getting the video game, so it might be a cool story, but I'm just gonna skip this one because I got like 5 other ones. It was absolutely insane.
Yes.
Here, I actually have the list right here because I usually put it in my notes and then copy and paste it onto an email.
Tell us.
So, I deleted it. You son of a bee. But no, I
mean, Alex actually wasn't too positive on him. He's like, I don't know, man. It's just he wasn't. He almost had me pulling out of like 2 of them, which maybe I still will.
So the Riddler year 1, That's the one
Yes,
that's
I'm
the
getting that
actor
one.
Paul Dano, I think, the actor who played
Donna,
the
yeah.
Riddler in the Batman. He's writing it. Batman, One Bad Day,
Pulling,
Penguin.
he's pulling a little Danny DeVito here,
Yeah,
huh?
right, that's right. In that
Right.
villain one, the Joker, the man who stopped laughing. They said it comes off of the heels of the Joker, so it's like, if this is a continued story, like I have to get it. And of course, Punchline, the Gotham game, I had to pull that one, and then
Of
and then
course.
Gotham City year one. It's like how many year ones you could pull me into, like because we all love a good origin story, like and of course you can do a Gotham year one from like 18 different writers, and it's just a different perspective, something different. If it's off canon, they can go whatever direction they want, and I'm gonna freaking get it. Sucks.
Dude, yeah, I know. So, but I mean, I'm excited, right? I'm excited because I was kind of down on previews and I wasn't reading as much and I was busy kind of nestling in a little bit better now and I kind of finding a little bit more of a rhythm and time to read. So it made me kind of excited after not, obviously I try to get a little bit more indie type stuff when I do previews, but it was
Did you
just
get
too.
Junkyard Joe?
I did not. I
That's
did
the
not.
off story from Geiga.
Yes, you're right. And you know how I felt about Geiger, so I did not pull it, but I did. But those being that heavy on the DC previews did really like alter my decision on some of the
For
other
sure, no,
ones.
I
So
completely understand. I only got like two other ones from like Marvel, and then all of previews. I got like I got a
I
short
didn't.
story from Boom Studios, and then I got from Marvel. I had to get the Strange Academy finals. It was like the next story in the saga of Strange Academy. I'll give it a chance for the first few issues, but if it's kind of like how the Strange Academy ended, and if I'm not getting one for like every other month as I was getting the last 5 issues of Strange Academy, I'm gonna dump it.
Yes. Yeah. Really? So I'm getting that Captain America symbol of truth this week as well. Like I said, I've really been liking that story for being Marvel. I'm digging it, Sam Wilson doing his thing, trying to
Yeah.
figure out who's sending all this stuff from Wakanda. And yeah, so dude, do you want to talk about do you want to talk about that Ram V detective? I know we got or his second offering in 1063 coming out obviously
This week.
probably tomorrow by the time people listen to
Right.
this, right? Tuesday. What'd you think about that
I
story?
mean, I liked it. Like whenever I'm reading something that I thoroughly enjoy, from a specific writer, or I love the art or whatever, and then I see something like, oh man, like I get kind of disappointed. But this one did not disappoint me. So I actually did enjoy it. It feels like it's going to be a decent story going forward, right? More
Yeah.
like a more internal struggle, right, for Mr. Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, it's kind of bringing me. It kind of had me feeling more of like a Tom King type of like story. Just I don't know. I didn't really know what I think. I think I was expecting too much of the Batman story, or maybe like it's so far off from the Tamaki that I was reading, so it's just like a little bit different, right? So I don't know. I'll see where the second one takes us this week. The backstory was kind of trippy, right? With like Gordon, and that was like a trip, man. Like I don't know if you remember the backstory on it when you were reading it, but that was very, very odd. But I don't know, man. Like Bruce is gonna like looking at this jukebox or Joker box, and he's
Right.
like having like nightmares again. Like I said, it's just like reminding me kind of like that Tom King nightmares and just crazy stuff, man. It's not what I was expecting as much, but I'm not gonna say that it's not good yet.
Right.
But I have been enjoying obviously the Zdarsky Batman
That
more.
yeah.
If
I mean, so far, yeah,
I
that
mean
one's
that,
good. I do, I do enjoy. That's a freaking good story. The
the
Catwoman story.
Catwoman,
Yeah,
yes,
dude. Like with all like
she's
the
going out
heirs,
looking for Penguin's hairs, yeah. And now you got the the
the
the
fe-
the, the, the
the female
daughter.
one that looks exactly like Oswald
You like 'em?
Cobblepot.
And and Catwoman thinks
She's
that
even got the nose. Like
they
what the
kill
hell?
him. Yeah, Yeah, and they're the ones that off the other brothers and
Mm-hmm.
sisters to get all the top
That's right.
spots,
Yeah.
and she's all pissed because she's only getting the ice lounge. You
Right.
freaking
Oh,
dumbass.
that was a good. That's a good
You
story.
off your brothers and sisters, and you're just getting. And I think it's real funny how Zadarsky writes that one, the lawyer, that like mechanical lawyer guy. What's his name? And he's like, "Oh well, I am programmed to
I
enunciate
know.
that in
Did I
perfect."
not enunciate for you? Like, did you not hear what I said?
Yeah. So when I think about that type of character, it makes me think of like they should have like teamed like had a Harley Quinn at that type of situation, just clowning off with that dude.
Right.
So it's fun, man. I just it was yeah, you're right. That Catwoman story is real good. The Batman's real good, man. Just if you want to elaborate on it, I can get into that Texas. That Texas blood is real good. Just man, just suspense. Just I just love that book, man. I really, really love that Texas Blood. They're doing their Chris Condon, Jacob
Mm-hmm.
Phillips. They're doing their thing. If you guys are not reading it, it's kind of like deep, not deep into it, but I mean we're already like sitting here on what number 16 that we just got. They did take a hiatus, but man, just we're in the second story now. It's just like always like murder mysteries type, and just it's real, real good, man. Real, real good. So. I suggest that book if you guys can get it in like trade paperback. I think that the second story is actually better than the first one.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
enjoying it more. Yes, more. It's almost like it's less words but more enjoyable.
Huh.
Just crazy. I really enjoy this
Nice.
book. So,
Let's see.
and I don't know if I've read anything else from Chris Condon. Not that I'm familiar with. This might be the only one, but
Oh, okay.
yeah. Some of these writers like they start coming up after a while,
Right.
so we'll see.
Not to go back and forth into the world of Batman, but I will say two stories that I did enjoy that I just read last night. I read the sixth and final issue of Batman Killing Time, mainly because it was like a long read. Like it actually took me like a good 20 minutes to read through, and I actually felt like it was, it was worth the, like, it was only, of course, like the regular $4.99, but it was a good end to the story. I think I thought that I was gonna be disappointed, but definitely opens it up for something more, like a part two with the eye, that everyone was after. But yeah, I thought it was a good end to the story. Did you pull that one, Killing Time?
Yeah, I pulled it. I thought the first issue was real good. It got at this time, at that time, then at this time, like
Yeah,
it kind of
jumped
had me
around
lost in a way. Like
sometimes.
at some point, I don't even think that he was like really going along with like a whole story because like when I was like reading like the first and second book, I'm like trying to remember all these times and like where
Going back
they're
a few
at,
pages, like
and
where
then
was this again? Like this was in like.
after a while, I was like, do I need to be remembering all this? And it's just like, there's no way you could have remembered all of it
Right.
because like every page, it's like at this time, at this time, at this time. I mean, it was cool the way it was written. Not my favorite Tom King offering, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Just it was all right. Just all right, man. I didn't enjoy it too much. I'm pretty sure that that White Knight Sean Murphy that you're reading is
I
more
was gonna get into
enjoyable.
that, man.
Is that Red
Red
Hood
Hood
that's coming
yeah,
out?
I mean,
Oh,
issue 2 is coming out this week, but I just read issue 1 earlier today. Man, just everything in that universe is just like just
that
throw it out the
universe,
window.
great.
Right, and it's just like
It's the art too.
It's the artwork and it's the little tweaks of the story, right? So like we all know the story of like Jason Todd and he gets crowbarred to death by the Joker, which was voted on by fans, by the way. Back in the day, you call the phone number, like this number for yes, this number for no, should the Joker kill Jason Todd. And so
Jeez.
they killed him off, put him in the Lazarus pit, bring him back to life, and he becomes Red Hood after that. And so, he's the Red Hood that we know and love, right? Or know and hate, if you're not really into the kind of anti-villain, kind of, anti-hero type arc. But this one is that he was getting tortured by the Joker, and just when he was about to do the final blow and kill Jason Todd, he finally just blurts out, "Bruce Wayne is Batman." And those 4 words saved his life because, he's like, because Joker says something to the effect of betrayal is like the worst punishment. So like, if if Batman finds out that you blurted and told his biggest secret ever, like I don't have to kill you. Like you're already dead, son. So scram. And so he's on the run, and within the final pages of the first issue, he's training another gal to be the new Robin. So it's pretty cool. It's a really good story. I will say that. Stillwater still holding strong. It's funny because it was like kind of like Stillwater to me was kind of like Undiscovered Country, to where there was a lull like for a few issues in the middle, and now like the last 2 issues are like, okay, I can see something, I can see it happening, within the city limits of Stillwater. As if you readers know, everyone is immortal, they cannot die. So now these last 2 issues, that the little kid, he looks like a 10-year-old kid, but he's like 40 something years old. He's now the new mayor of Stillwater. He has now extended the city lines into Coldwater, and now he has just unveiled to the good people of Coldwater that now you are within the city limits of Stillwater, and now you are immortal as well. So they're telling him, like, you will be, here's how it's going to happen. You will be,
they're impeding on their territory.
You're going to be paired with another person from Stillwater. They're going to
unfortunate soul.
Yeah. Yep. So it's a really like a good twist to the story, because they were losing me for a second, but then they brought me right back. So good.
What I always say episode. What issue are they on?
That was 14.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's not too far.
Only?
Yeah, it's not too far into it.
Jesus, did they go on hiatus on that one?
Yes,
too?
they did. Yes, they did.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, they went on.
Makes
on
sense.
hiatus for a few months, and technically it's the 15th issue, because they have like a side story. Was a few issues like after issue 12, but yeah, it's a really good story. Anything else that you read from the last week or two?
Man,
you still getting Time Before Time?
I'm not.
Okay.
I dumped that one a couple months ago.
Okay.
I can't believe it's still going on,
15
man.
issues. It's been
I wonder I wonder what part of the story they're in, because I thought it was good. I thought it was going to be a mini series, like a 6-issue, and it just kept going and going, and just one of the editors on there, just I forgot what her name is. Antos, Heather Antos is one of the editors on there. So shout out to her. But I was, kind of when I got into this whole comic stuff, she was one of the people that I, interacted with, I guess, on Twitter, if you will. So I was, dealing, reading it, seeing how, kind of supporting her work and whatnot. But I'm not anymore. So just not horrible, but one of the ones that I missed was, Made in Korea was real good. If you guys can still get that trade, that was a real good one that came, I think it was Image, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. So. But just been real good ones. Like I said, I've been trying to, I feel like my indie game is kind of on low right now. I need to re-up my indie game right now, but DC is just really feeding me, man.
I know.
And speaking, they've
Batman
been feeding
specifically,
me,
bro.
Speaking of DC, the first DC fandom was 2 years ago today, August 22nd.
Whoa, during COVID, that's right.
The pop culture space has evolved in some unique ways over the past few years, with the COVID pandemic changing the way audiences can engage with media that they love. Right. Yes, so that was 2 years ago. I'm seeing this here, so... Yeah, pretty. DC is just really feeding me, man, and I don't know how much they're going to keep feeding your boy Ezra Miller, because that boy's going off and trying to seek help right now. So hopefully he finds it. Real talk. So, mental illness and be real. So,
like, sir, you just got caught. You're going to jail for burglary. But I have mental health issues.
5150, right?
Oh yeah, I have mental health issues. You raped somebody. Oh, I have mental health issues. Like, okay. Anyways, two more quick books as we round out the book section. Dude, I told you last night or earlier today, the last issue of Scumbag was really good.
Don't tell me
like
that.
How the first arc got you.
So we had like 6,
and then the second arc was like, nah, I'm dumping it. But then, dude, 2 issues later, issue 14, the 14th and final issue, man, a great send off to Ernie Clementine.
Was he a dirty asshole, or what? Was he just doing all types of crazy shit?
I'm not even going to tell you, because it's like, really? Because you're going to be like, oh my God. But it's a good send off. So I'll let you, maybe either get a trade or try to pick up the last, 3 or 4 issues that you missed. But yeah, it's good stuff.
No, I missed a lot more than 3 or 4. I might have cut that thing like around 9, 8, 9, 10, I'm thinking.
That's only 4 or 5 issues, so yeah.
Mr. Ernie Clementine.
Or just get the last issue and just be like, yeah, that's what it is. Right? But then the final one, AWA, I love AWA because it's like, if the story's like at least a little decent, it's like, it's only 4 or 5 issues. So this 5-issue miniseries called Sacrament, I read the first issue. It's set in like the year 2999. Right? So almost the year 3000, we're out in deep, deep space. We have a priest who, like, when you think of a priest, you think of how he should behave, how he should hold himself, whatever. Definitely doesn't do that. He's some type of like it's something like he holds like this, like, the size of a cell phone up above his face, and I think it's some like their way of like taking a drug. So he's an addict of some sort. He runs around and having sexual relations with LSD, a bunch of women and stuff. So he's not your typical priest. And then there is there's no religion in these certain planets, in the certain areas, colonies, as you will. But then something happens where there's a string of murders that happens, and these people are getting hung upside down, like an upside down cross. Right, so it's like, so they call on this priest to like kind of investigate it and stuff. So it's like exorcism stuff, and it's like a horror book kind of. So it's pretty good. First issue is pretty good. I actually have the author right here. If you guys want to pick,
which one is it?
Sacrament, Peter Milligan, which I think Peter Milligan has written 1 or 2 other stories from AWA. The artist is Marcello Fruzen. But yeah, so Peter Milligan from AWA, Sacrament, go pick it up. It's a good one.
Shout out AWA. I think the last book that I've got from them was The Fourth Man. So that one was decent, pretty good.
That was good. I'm currently reading The Joneses because everything that falls within the Resistance world, I'm probably going to get.
You stuck with that. Yeah, you stuck with that.
So I'm reading, I'm at issue 4 of 5 or 5 of 5 now of The Joneses. And then Sacrament. So I'm only getting 2 books right now from AWA, so not too bad.
I also saw in previews, just to come back to previews real quick again, I think that Eve story with that little girl and that robotic teddy bear. Yeah, I'm not getting it. But I know we all got it, and that was when we were talking about it. But there's decisions in life you gotta make sometimes.
It had a good premise. And then, like you said, I made the decision not to get it because I had already had like 6 books because of freaking DC at that point. So I was like, nah, Eve, sorry, I gotta drop your ass. Sorry.
Mm-hmm,
I didn't really.
I think that was at the time we were getting Bad Mother as well. I believe another AWA, if I'm not mistaken. Just good shit, man. Just real good stuff we've been reading. Source Point Press sometimes still. Shout out to Source Point Press because they, I don't know if you see in previews, they got that big layout now. So our boys up there from money. The Motor City, Michigan and whatnot, they're doing pretty good out there, right? They're doing decent. So
definitely
shout out to them. And we've had a couple good, writers join us via them. So congratulations. And just great stuff, Mike. I don't know if there's seasons in the comic book game. I guess you could say I'm not as seasoned as you to even know that, but are there seasons that it gets hotter? Or does books get hotter in the winter? Or is there more of them? You would think in the springtime, come summer, these writers and they want to take like time off and vacation, but
maybe
DC won't tell me that. They just keep firing off on all cylinders. It could be because things were getting delayed, as Alex would tell you. This could be stuff that was getting pushed back, didn't make it. Now it's all getting released. The paper shortage, and all these supply chain issues could have been adding up, and now we could just be getting an onslaught of stuff. Who knows, man? But it's been real great. Just big publishers, smaller publishers, medium publishers. I want it all, baby. Comic Bookies want it all.
I think you might be right on a certain, maybe there's more supply, more material for these books now that more and more are starting to come out because specifically at work, we're dealing with a shortage problem, but we now have a long list of these parts that we should not back order anymore because now they're quote unquote healthy. So something like that. So I think the whole
quote unquote overstock now.
Right. So the whole world, in a sense, hopefully is getting better as far as the shortages of maybe, obviously wood that has to do with paper and so on and so forth. I don't see any news things about formula. Formula's fully stocked. So I don't know what they were distracting us from then, Russia, Ukraine or whatever. Dude. So it was like a whole 3-4 week long thing. And all of a sudden, nope.
So
fully stocked.
are the shelves stocked? I mean, I don't
I went
have
to
a
Costco.
little
I
one,
went to
so I
Costco
haven't
today.
paid attention.
Yeah, I went to Costco today, and I had to get diapers and stuff. So in that area is formula
It's all back.
full.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's good.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of weird how it was a big thing for like 3 or 4 weeks, right? Like I got Sean, I went to Safeway because his place in Newark or Hayward or wherever didn't have it, but our place in Tracy had it, so I stocked up with him, met him halfway, 2 days later in Dublin. I was like, yeah, it's freaking crazy. And then sure enough, I don't hear anything about it anymore, so hopefully it's not an issue, because that's very, very important to the babies.
I'd say feeding our kin is very important. Our hairs, we got to feed our hairs.
Not killing them.
Yeah. By the way, that is pretty crazy the way the story's starting off with Cobblepots, huh?
I know.
And they're saying that
he's dead,
Bruce. They're saying Bruce got him, right?
Right, because he had the what's that cyanide pill? He kind of he poisoned himself in the bed, and then all of a sudden he walks in. Hey, what are you doing? And then freaking Batman's right there. So obviously, what are you gonna think?
Yeah. The nurse, yeah.
So
reminded me of that damn Mayan scene.
Yep, exactly. So okay, so let's get into I have a few stories to kind of end the episode for the week. So Thor: Love and Thunder is premiering now on September 8th on Disney Plus, which is I think exactly 2 months after releasing in theaters. So that's a little soon, in my opinion. And my wife was saying too that as far as box office numbers and just viewership numbers and people who are reviewing the movie, it's got to be down there with the bottom 3 Marvel movies of all time. So I'm like, damn. I mean, like, okay, that kind of in
bottom 3,
right? And in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool. That's enough for me to say I'm not going to go see it in theaters. I'll just wait for it to go on Disney Plus. But I'm not going to then not watch it on Disney Plus. Like that's one of the once it drops on like the Wednesday or whatever day they drop new stuff on Disney Plus, I'm watching it that weekend. Like something that I still want to watch because I'm fully involved and fully committed to phase whatever the hell they're on for. So I don't know. It might be bad, but it's not going to deter me away from watching it.
Is it as bad as DC League of Super Pets? Do you know anything of? Because I'm looking at the numbers right here. By the way,
is that already
weekend
out?
You got. Yeah, I mean you had Dragon Ball superhero last weekend, the most, and Beast, Bullet Train, Top Gun Maverick is still outbeating. You mentioned that earlier.
Oh God,
still outbeating DC Leagues of Super Pets. I thought that was gonna be bigger than I saw that. I told my daughter, I'm like, well, maybe we should go watch that.
I think we get a kick out of it, like knowing, like just because they might get some help from like Green Lantern or Aquaman or Flash. I think it'd be a cool movie to go see.
For the kids, it's for the kids,
right? For the kids, especially if you want to get them into that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, so Thor: Love and Thunder. But yeah, Top Gun again, man. What the hell? It passes Infinity War. It passes Avengers Infinity War for 6th all-time in domestic box office numbers at $679 million. How in the hell does Tom Cruise do it? This is probably one of his last movies of all time that he's ever going to do. Top Gun Maverick? Really? It's heading in the direction for Black Panther. It might hit $700 million, which is Black Panther. Top 5? When you think of the great movies, a sequel to Top Gun, 6th all-time domestic. It's so what we were talking about 2 weeks ago. It's so freaking inflated with the price of tickets. Stop. Give me where is it as far as asses in seats? Is it top 50? Is it even top 100? I don't think so. But like money, okay, fine. The price of admission is like $17 if you're going to sit IMAX or whatever. But it's just absolutely unbelievable and mind-boggling to me that this movie is doing so well, and especially so late in the game, right? What does they get, like a 60-day release or a 90-day release for movies usually sometimes, but not really sure how much longer it has, so take a pause so Mark can plug in his laptop. I think the battery's running out. I was just ranting and raving about Top Gun Maverick, so you can continue with that conversation. I'll edit this part.
Yeah, brother. Top Gun, Tommy Cruise doing his thing again. Obviously, Man, I gotta hand it to him though, man. At his age, still
Right.
doing what he's got to do. I think you mentioned it's like one of his last movies, but I think he's or he's starting to film the next Mission Impossible or something like
He's
that.
the
So
ageless wonder,
the guy,
man. Shit. It's Tom
dude,
Brady
it's
of
pretty
acting.
wild. I haven't seen it. Have you seen Top Gun
No,
Maverick?
I'll definitely watch it now when it comes out on whatever streaming service.
Should we do it a TCB? Go together, grab some popcorn, and do a review on it. Since should we add to the climbing towards Black Panther on the box office ratings or
No,
what?
I'm
But
gonna go the old people matinee. Like, give me like an $8 movie or whatever. Give me the
right.
first showing on a Sunday morning.
But man, I mean, congratulations. I think obviously. How do you think it would go? We talked about earlier the rise in popularity right now and wagering with NASCAR and everything. How would it go if we brought back that Days of Thunder, man? That'd be
Right.
kind of wild. Wonder if it'd do as good. Probably not, but you never know, right? Just bring them all back, man. Bring them all back. I think the movies that you can bring back and make good are definitely better than the sitcoms you can try to bring back and never prevail. How many times have they
Right.
tried Full House, the Saved by the Bell? Those sitcoms, they bring them back.
Like that.
It
Yeah, they
just
have like the Hulu
Fresh
one, like
Prince.
How I Met Your Father. It's like the How I Met Your Mother, but it's like
it's
the
just the fresh. They're just not the same, I guess.
Right.
It's just times aren't the same either. People have YouTube. They're not sitting at home trying to, pretend like they want to watch TGIF and sitcoms on Friday nights because,
right.
they don't.
I think I read an article before before we jumped on. I didn't jump into it, but the title said like people who stream, like the number of streamers or the streaming hours or whatever, is close to, if not just past, cable viewerships or like subscriptions.
Did you see that this
Something
week?
like that.
Because you're right. It is. The numbers just came out, and I think for the first time ever, the streaming numbers outbeat the cable
Right.
subscriptions.
It had a picture. It had a picture of
I
11.
saw the
It had a
same
picture of
thing.
11 on the picture on IGN from Stranger Things, and I was like, oh damn! Like, I knew it was going to happen eventually, but I didn't really know when it was going to happen. So that's pretty crazy.
Until they get all bundled back up together, like we mentioned before,
Right.
because everyone's going to be sick of paying a la carte for everything.
Right.
So they're going to have to bundle them back up together. And then what do you got? Cable TV, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Speaking of streaming, I was not able. It's actually a good thing because Sean's not on, but I was not able to stream and watch House of the Dragon. So it broke a record. It was HBO. It was HBO's most watched premiere of any show ever.
Was that last
That
night,
was last
right?
night. It was last night, Sunday the 21st.
Sunday night,
Yep.
the 21st.
Over 10 million views in the first night of the first episode of this new show. Over 10 million views. And guess what? That was the cause of thousands of users, specifically on Amazon devices, of HBO Max, crashing. Me and my wife, we just finished packing or unpacking from the trip. Took us like 2.5, 3 days, right? That's usually what happens, right? For a week-long trip, unpack everything. Everything goes in the laundry. You got to put back your toiletries. You got to do this, do that, or whatever. And finally we get okay, cool. The kids are in bed. I got a few books to read for tomorrow's recording, but let's watch House of the Dragon. Boom. Turn on the TV in the bedroom, which has a Fire Stick, or has, an Amazon Fire Stick. Go to the HBO Max. You click episode 1, watch, and all of a sudden it gives you the preview of like what's coming from HBO, like House of the Dragon, The Last of Us, a bunch of movies and shows coming back. Titans season 4, I think, brand new season. But sure enough, as soon as it as soon as it gets to like, oh, this show is TVMA for whatever, boom, crashes. Goes back to the homepage. I'm like, no, what is this? And of course, at that point, we're too tired to like go into the other room where it's just on the smart TV where it would have worked. So yeah. Didn't get to watch it. So
You gotta pull it up on the laptop, kid.
Yeah, but we wouldn't. Nah, dude, you can't experience Game of
So what
Thrones.
is this though? What is this? It's like a prequel.
It's a
or
prequel,
something?
like generations, like pretty much the story of like the Targaryen family. So Emilia Clarke, who played Khaleesi in the first show, it's kind of like her family and her kind of family origin, right? So more dragons, more killing, more everything Game of Thrones.
Is it supposed to be better
Eh.
or just different?
Hopefully better than, the last season or two of Game of Thrones, the show. But I don't think anything can beat the first handful of seasons of Game of Thrones. Unbelievable cinematography, unbelievable story, acting, everything was really cool.
How many seasons did it go? 7, 8,
6 or something. 6.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't a Smallville 10 seasoner. Don't worry. But do you have any other news? Because I have to. I have to cue the music. I'm sorry.
Oh God, let me get some news so you don't have to cue it up, man. Go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Who do we got to RIP to?
So
this
I mean,
week,
I have to shout this out. It's not something normal like, oh yeah, you don't really have to say it, but it kind of affects me and my family. Ever since me and my wife got married, I've kind of adopted a tradition of hers where every single Christmas Eve, no matter what time before we go to bed, we have to watch It's a Wonderful Life. That old 20s or 30s or 50s movies, right? So and we have to watch the black and white version. But Virginia Patton Moss, she died at age 97. She played Ruth Dakin Bailey, who's George Bailey's brother Harry, his wife. So, not a huge character in the movie, but just like, I was scrolling through the news and stuff to write down notes, and I was like, oh, kind of affected, I told my wife, and she's like, oh no. So one of her all-time favorite movies, top 3 for her for Christmas, because it has, kinds of holds the sentimental value, because she used to watch it when she was younger. So now we've kind of adopted the same thing. Of course, the kids don't want to watch it. They don't want to watch some black and white movie from like the 40s or 50s, but
I don't blame them.
Right. So
don't do that to them, man.
Right. Yeah. They watch Nightmare Before Christmas or Home Alone or whatever, and then like, hey, you want to watch It's a Wonderful Life? They're probably like, nah, I'd rather go to bed.
Christmas Story.
Right? Everyone loves that. It's a cult classic. I'm not a huge fan of it.
That's not one of my favorites either. But, like you said, you're part of the cult, the Christmas cult.
Right. So R.I.P. to Miss Virginia Patton Moss, 97. So good run, good run in life. But yeah, so I'm sorry. It wasn't like a huge necessary one this week, but just because for me personally, I had to shout it out to my wife.
Any death is necessary. I mean,
that's true. Yeah.
They're in their entertainment business and we have ties to them and whatever, why not?
Right. So anything else, sir?
I think that's it, man. Just
episode 157 is in the book. So there you have it. A collision course of sports and comics like no other, like you've never heard before. Again, like every single week we tell you, I can't think of anybody else that does it. I mean, of course, you got Seth Everett, who does 2 different podcasts, sports and comics and stuff, but comic books too. He doesn't do comic books. He just does movie, TV, and all that good stuff. So nowhere else will you find anything like the Comic Bookies podcast. So, Mr. Mark, take us away, sir.
Yes, sir, man. It was so great to have everybody back. Oh, sorry, not everybody, because Sean wasn't here today dealing with some stuff. But it was great to be back. Just doing it every 2 weeks sometimes is just not enough, right? It's good for us through the summer. We get to settle down and do some things and be with the family, but getting into the colder winter months and fall months and football season and hopefully our damn contest, our, little mini super contest can freaking be just as close as it was last time, man, because it was a race and it was real close and it is fun. And like we said earlier, we are going to be coming to you guys live at a more custom time here on Monday nights after Monday Night Football, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Mark your calendars, put it on all your reminders list, set your alarms, because starting next week we will have our NFL preview show, and then every week after that it will be every single week, ladies and gentlemen, live YouTube. Come join us. But yeah, man, once again, we are brought to you as always by Alex, Treasure Island Comics. He keeps hooking it up. Make sure you guys check him out. He's always getting new stuff, all types of whatever you want. And if you can't get it, he can order it for you. So the guy is great. He's one of our favorites. He's half the reason why this podcast is alive each and every week. Well, now every week for you guys. But yes, check out our social media pages as always at the Comic Bookies, thecomicbookies@gmail.com. If you want to send us an email, if you want to send up interview, anything, we are down to talk to you, the fans. We love you guys. This is episode 157. Thank you for joining us tonight, and join us again next week. It has been fun, and be safe out there, guys.
Oh yeah, Mark. Got some good news for the fans too. Welcome to the Comic Bookie Passport, the country of Estonia. So thank you so much for the handful of people who have downloaded us so far in Estonia. Countries, some notable countries that are back on the map of downloading. Got India, France. You have Switzerland back on the map, downloading over the past 10 episodes, or actually over the past week, because these are brand new back on the map. So I don't have any brand new. I think I'm looking at them. I'll have to report this next week. But we have the top 5 in the United States. The Bay Area is back. San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose is back at number 1. Great Falls, Montana, number 2. New York at 3. Boston, Massachusetts, and still standing strong in the top 5 is the state of West Virginia, specifically Wheeling. So thank you so much for all who's downloaded us. Thank you so much for all who's watching this YouTube video. And yeah, like Mark said, can't wait. Starting next week, this is now a weekly thing from now until Super Bowl, whatever the hell it is, in Glendale, Arizona. But for Sean, who's not here, he'll be back definitely next week. For Mark, this is Mike. This is episode 157 of the Comic Bookies podcast. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and enjoy each other. Peace the hell out. See y'all next week for the season preview.
Peace, and always enjoy each other. Enjoy the NASCAR. Enjoy college football starting up. Enjoy your team rounding out their preseason in the NFL, because it is going to start getting cracking in here. We love you guys. 157. Peace out.